Hello guys, I welcome you all to my YouTube channel Hope RBI. In the previous lecture, I was talking about how to prepare for the phase 1 of RBI Grade B 2023 examination, and in that video I actually missed a very important point, that how to cover the data interpretation section of the quantitative aptitude portion of the examination. So for data interpretation, I recommend you guys to purchase either the book of data interpretation by Olive Board, or you can purchase the book from Adda 247. Just purchase either one of it and start practicing the questions from that particular book that you have purchased, and also rely on the practice mock test. I've already discussed this in the previous video. Practice mock is really very essential for you to practice good level of questions, especially in the quantitative aptitude section. So DI is also is of very good level in the practice mock test as well. So I recommend you guys to follow these sources for the data interpretation. So let's erase this and let's move on to the main agenda of this particular video, that is how to prepare for the phase 2 of RBI Grade B 2023 examination. I will be discussing everything in detail. This video might be a little longer, so bear with me, and I will be also discussing what was my personal experience while facing the phase 2, and what are the things you need to keep in your mind, and what are the don'ts that you should be following while preparing for the phase 2 examination. So the prerequisite here as well. The prerequisites I've discussed in the previous video. You must have the syllabus in your hand, the printout of the syllabus, and you must have the printout of the previous year question papers. I've already discussed that I have shared some of the previous year question papers published by EduTap on the Telegram channel. I will link it down below, and you can also download the other publishers as well, like Crack Grade B or iExamB, and you can definitely have the printout of the previous year question papers. You need to understand very thoroughly the pattern of the examination of phase 2, because it is the examination which will decide your selection in the final list. So for that, you need to have a more thorough approach regarding the pattern of this exam. So this exam consists of three main subjects. The first is your economic and social issues. The second subject is finance and management, and the third subject is your English descriptive. Now, since 2021, RBI has included the subjective portions in the ESI and finance management portion, and English descriptive was already there. But there was a lot of rumor going around that why the descriptive or why the subjective was actually added in this particular exam. Was there a need? And there were a lot of reasons. I'm not going to talk about those. It might get a little controversial, but I'm going to talk about that now. The pattern is changed, and a thorough approach is needed for you to cover in order to answer beautifully the questions that are asked in the examination in the descriptive portion. So for that, a wholesome analysis, a comprehensive analysis is required. So I'm going to talk about the subject wise things. Also, let's talk about the pattern first. So there is a paper of finance and management which consists of two portions, the objective paper and subjective paper. The objective paper consists of 30 questions and a total of 50 marks. There are some 1-marker questions, there are some 2-marker questions in these 30 questions, and there is a subjective portion. It also consists of 50 marks. In the subjective portion, you will be encountering 6 questions in totality, 3 questions of 15 marks and 3 questions of 10 marks. And in all, you have to attempt only 4 questions, 2 questions from the 15 markers and 2 questions from the 10 markers. And also there is a word limit described, that in the 15 marker questions you have to write 600 words, and in 10 marker questions you have to write 400 words. So that is the main criteria for the subjective portion of finance and management, and similar is the case for the ESI as well. 30 questions will be objective and worth 50 marks, and you will be encountering 6 questions worth 15 marks and 10 marks respectively, and you have to also write in the similar word limit. So that is the similar criteria for English as well. Economic and social issues as well. But let's talk about English. This year there was a slight change. In the English descriptive section, the essays that were asked were to be explained in 600 words. Okay. Previously it was asked to write the essays in 400 to 450 words, but now this time the essays were asked to be written in 600 words. So there is never a fixed word limit in essays, remember that. So you have to prepare likewise. You have to have much fodder material for the essay in order to write a good amount of essay, a good amount of words, the requisite amount of words which could be asked in this examination. So you have to keep all of those things in mind: the pattern of the examination, the objectives part, the subjectives part, the descriptive English part. Everything is very much crucial for you to understand. Also, English entails the comprehension passage, uh, under which there are some questions and you have to write the answers to those questions in your own language. You have to type those answers. Second is the Pressy, which is actually to be understood very carefully, because people might get a huge amount of deductions in the Pressy writing, because Pressy is, to understand the comprehensive ability of a candidate and how the person can summarize a long paragraph into a shorter one. Approximately one third of the length is to be reduced, and usually the word limit is given in the examination, 120 words or 150 words or whatever. But that is the main scenario for the Pressy writing. So we will be going to discuss everything one by one. Let's talk about the ESI section first. And you need to know that ESI is very dynamic in nature, and you will not be sure what could be asked in the ESI section, especially in the objective part. Also in the subjective part, but subjective can be doable if you are done with the static portion of ESI. But you are not sure what will be asked in the objective portion, and equally objective and subjective are very important to crack, because you are not sure how much marking you will be getting in the descriptive portion or in the subjective portion. So ESI, I told you already, there are two portions: objective and subjective. Objective portion entails 30 questions worth 50 marks. There are some 1 markers, there are some 2 markers. Subjective entails 6 questions, 3 questions 15 markers, 3 questions 10 markers. So this is the main pattern. Now the syllabus. Syllabus of ESI, you need to have the syllabus of ESI in your hand, and you need to analyze each and everything regarding the syllabus, because ESI is basically your current affairs that will be asked in the examination, especially in the objective portion. Whatever the news that you read, whatever the current affair that you read, you must be in relevance of the syllabus that is according to this particular exam. So for ESI section, for covering the static portion of ESI like poverty alleviation, employment generation, or let's say national income, per capita income, all of those concepts which is given in your syllabus, for covering the static portion of it, you can refer to NCERTs. The economics NCERTs of 11th class and 12th class, macroeconomics. Macroeconomics. There are two books in 12th class NCERTs, macro and microeconomics. You only have to refer to the macroeconomics book. But remember that this is only to cover the basics, and everything which is given in NCERTs is to actually clarify your concepts. You can also watch various videos on YouTube. There are some tutors who teach the NCERT books over YouTube's chapter wise. You can definitely find those videos if you feel that you are not able to understand the language of NCERT books. But trust me, NCERT is extremely very easy to understand. If you will be able to read the NCERTs, you will be understanding every concept very easily. Let's talk about a little bit of perspective regarding the current affairs. So for current affair portion, or for giving the substance to your answer in the subjective portion, along with NCERT, you also need to follow a very good book which I came across last year, and it really helped me out in answering the questions. The book is Indian Economy by Sanjeev Verma. Sanjeev Verma. This book is very short, I guess 250 to 300 pages of book, but this book is consisted of having a lot of relevant and recent data which you can cite in your answer writing to make it more impressive. So that kind of data can be covered easily from Indian Economics by Sanjeev Verma, and you will be able to find out that what kind of relevant data could be added in your answer. Let's say you are having a report, you are having a question from hunger. There is a question regarding hunger in the subjective portion of ESI. So in that particular question, you will be able to understand that yes, there is a report called Global Hunger Index. I can add some of the data to actually substantiate my answer in order to get good marks in the actual examination. So that kind of scenario can be easily understood by going through the chapters of Sanjeev Verma. because every chapter, I guess there are 42, 43 or 45 chapters in this, but only 2 to 3 pages chapter per chapter. So in those chapters only the relevant things are given, and some data specific things are also given. So you can definitely go through it, and if you think that in that particular book some data is obsolete, you can definitely check out the updated data from the current affair magazines, which I've already discussed in the previous video. Go check it out, you will be able to understand everything there. So this is my strategy that I actually used to prepare for the ESI section. And I also went to the I also used to read Ramesh Singh, Indian Economy by Ramesh Singh, to cover the comprehensive subjects like poverty alleviation or employment generation. They are explained in a very greater depth in the Indian Economy by Ramesh Singh. But this book is very bulky and some unnecessary things are also given in this book. So I recommend you guys to go through the NCRTs and cover most of it. And after that, just move on to the Sanjeev Verma, and you will be able to find a lot more relevant material for your examination, especially for the subjective portion of this exam. Let's talk about the current affairs then. I have already discussed the strategy to prepare for the current affairs for the GA section in the previous video. For ESI section, your main emphasis should be on the economic survey of the next year, the union budget of next year, the RBI annual report, it should also be the latest one. The next thing you need to cover is the reports and indices by two organizations. First of all, the domestic organizations. What are the domestic organizations like Niti Aayog or NSO or CII or let's say Ministry of Finance or Ministry of Commerce and Industries? All the data, all the reports and indices regarding these particular domestic industries you need to follow. And some of the international institutions also release the reports and indices. You are well aware of the Global Hunger Index, Global Economic Prospects by World Bank, some IMF reports, some Oxfam reports, some World Bank reports. Everything should be covered accordingly, because the things are very important from the social issues aspect of this particular subject. So it is very important for you to cover the reports and indices of these particular organizations, but also remember that you will be finding way more reports by IMF, way more reports by World Bank. You need to only stick to the syllabus. You need to only be relevant to the syllabus, and don't read anything else. Whatever is mentioned in the syllabus, just read it. Don't read obsolete or extra or superfluous material to save your time. Next thing is very important, that is the government scheme. You need to focus more and more on the government schemes, because a lot questions were asked in this year's examination as well regarding the government schemes. And government schemes, I've already told you, you can cover government schemes by Affairs Cloud. Some of the new government schemes will be elaborated there. You will also be finding the government schemes in PIB also. You will be able to understand every aspect through PIB. There are some sections regarding FAQs in PIB also, where you will be able to find some of the important government schemes that are in news, which you will be able to consider for your examination. And also you need to focus more on the features or the beneficiaries or all the aspects of government schemes through the PDFs that you can download from official website of Vision IAS. I will also put the link of the these government schemes from the Vision IAS down in the comment section. You can go to that link and you can download those PDFs for your own revision, for your own preparation. So that is it for the ESI section. You must be considering Affairs Cloud very deeply for it, for PIB very deeply for it, and this government scheme reports and indices, everything that has been mentioned here, you have to consider it very comprehensively and very deeply, because it is very unexpected paper and you can encounter many questions uh, regarding these particular scenarios, these particular domains. So you have to follow all of those things. Personally, if I talk about my experience of objective portion of ESI, it didn't go as I expected it to be. But let's see what happens in the future. I'm not too sure about my result in the mains examination, but let's hope for the best. The next thing is your finance and management. So let's talk about the finance first. Many people are not from the finance background and they wonder how to prepare for the finance section. Finance is extremely easy to understand because it's very much practical. Okay, it's not only about cramming the theories, it's also about the practical analysis. When you read the newspapers are very important for the finance section. When you read newspapers, you will be able to get the gist of the news that is going around in the finance section. What is happening in the capital market, what is happening in the bond market, what is happening in the what is SEBI actually doing to regulate those markets, what is going on according to the mergers and acquisitions, how the shares are going up and down, how the market is fluctuating, how the forex reserves are changing, how the Indian economy is stabilizing or destabilizing according to those forex exchanges. So all of these things are in accordance with the finance, and you need to understand the Indian financial system in order to get employed in the RBI organization. So in order to do so, the basic things are needed to be covered, because they have also changed. If you see the latest notification, they have also changed the name to the general finance, because you are not required to do PhD in this subject. You need to have a general idea of how the organization works, how the other organizations work, how the bond market work, how the capital markets work, how the derivatives work. Everything, the gist of it, you should be knowing. So get to the syllabus, open the syllabus, and you will be able to find out that what are the important things that you need to cover. What I did for my own preparation is that I followed NPTEL lectures for covering the finance. There is a website from NPTEL, and there is a YouTube channel also, in which you will find numerous professors from various Indian Institute of Technologies, which will be who will be teaching the finance in a very beautiful manner. So open the syllabus and find out the topic, search for the topic on YouTube, and you can understand that topic from NAPTEL lectures. And after understanding the lectures, you can refer a very good book, that is Indian Financial System by Bharti V. Pathak. Bharti V. Pathak. So this book is very, very, very vast. It's very elaborative. It's it's too much of a work to actually cover this book. But my recommendation to you is just search for the topic. Let's say you have the syllabus in your hand, and the syllabus says RBI's roles and functions. So just search RBI roles and functions over the internet, over the YouTube, and find a video regarding it, either from NAPTEL or from any other lectures, and get a gist of how the RBI works. And after getting to know about all of those important things, just move on to the book and open that chapter regarding the RBI's roles and functions, and try to read whatever else is given in the book. By doing so, you will be eliminating a whole lot of time which you could have wasted in understanding the lengthier portions that are given in the Bharti V. Pathak book. So that is my recommendation to you, that only try to cover Bharti V. Pathak after you have covered the topic from after you have gotten the gist of that particular topic from YouTube, either from NAPTEL lectures or from any other lectures that you might feel comfortable in. I'm not going to talk about which specific lectures, because I myself also have seen a lot of lectures. I'm not even memorizing what kind of lectures I actually saw. You can find out any Indian Institute of Technology, you can find out any professor there, and you can understand the topic. If you are not able to understand the topic from one professor, just move on to the other. If not second, then third. You can do all of those things for your finance preparation. But it is not only about the static portion of the finance, it is also very important to know about the current affairs for the finance section as well. So what is the important thing that you need to know about the current affairs? The reports by RBI. Very, very important. Financial stability report. Question was there regarding financial stability report in this examination this year. And also the RBI annual report, or the reports of trends and reports on trends of banking and progress in India. That is also a very important report by RBI. That is also mentioned in the syllabus. If you see the syllabus, the reports are already mentioned there. So you have to cover those reports. Plus, for the finance section, you also need to cover the RBI notifications comprehensively. I already told you in the phase 1 preparation video that RBI notifications were in abundance in the examination. In the phase 2, I found so many questions regarding RBI notifications. You need to cover them very, very comprehensively. I have made a video how to cover RBI notifications, how to visit RBI website, how to cover it in a video. I have already linked that video in the previous video that I've uploaded, and I will also link the same in this particular video right here. You will be able to understand each and everything from that video, how to read the RBI notifications. Do watch it, very important video. So this was the finance. let's talk about the second section of this particular subject, that is the management. It is a very important part and very easy part. It is a very easy subject to understand, very easy subject to understand. So what were my sources? My sources were not very vast. I've seen so many people recommending PC Tripathi. I've seen so many people they already talk about how to go into the depths of this management section, but you don't need to actually go too much depth. If you read the basic things, the compact things, you will be able to get the gist of management. And it's also always, the management is about the common sense. It's a common sense subject. Whatever you feel should be right to do, most of that instinctual stimulations will be really helpful to you to actually solve the answers, to solve the questions in the actual examination. So for management, I only refer to the IGNOU notes. I have made a video that how you can download the IGNOU notes. I will link it right here. You have to watch that video and you have to just get the syllabus in your hand, search for the topic, and you will get a PDF of that particular topic from IGNOU notes, from IGNOU websites, or from eGyanKosh. I have already talked about it in a separate video. I will link it right here. That was my only source for management. And for business ethics, basically I relied also on the IGNOU notes, and I watched some of the YouTube videos as well, just to get the gist. You can also do the same. If you think that some topic is not very easy for you to understand, just go to YouTube and search for any topic. If you find any lecture, be it from NEPTEL, be it from any other professor who is teaching that particular subject of management, you will be able to understand the basics of that particular thing, and after that you can move on to the IGNOU notes, just to revive that, refresh that memory, and revise everything that you have studied. Also, NEPTEL has some very good lectures regarding management. You can definitely see that there are some very good syllabus based lectures from management in NEPTEL. So you can definitely go through those, but if you think that you can understand everything on your own from the IGNOU notes, you can definitely opt for that either. So this is the whole scenario for the finance and management section, and management is purely static in nature. There is no current affair regarding it. Yes, but in order to make your subjective answers more impressive, you can read editorial sections over the telegram, over the newspapers, and in those editorial sections you can definitely find some of the good quotations from various personalities, like let's say Ratan Tata or Anand Mahindra, or some other personalities who say some very beautiful things regarding ethics or leadership, or whatever kind of the topic which is in relevance to the management portion. You can see those quotes and you can actually use those quotes in your answer in order to make it more impressive, to make the introduction part more impressive of your answer. So that you can do, but otherwise management is strictly static and there is not much effort needed to cover the management portion in this particular examination. So these are the sources which I actually personally referred, and you can definitely go through these sources in order to prepare well. Let's talk about the last section of this particular examination, that is the English descriptive. You will be encountering three questions. First is the essay writing, second is the comprehension passage, and third is the précis writing. So what is essay writing? Essay writing is basically you will be given a topic and you have to write a particular essay on that topic, that what you actually think, what the society actually thinks, what according to the society or according to the government or according to your personal opinion could be the resolution to a particular problem, or could be a suggestion, or it could be anything under the sun. So essay is basically depicting your ideas, but if you see the syllabus of this examination in English descriptive portion, they have specifically mentioned that they only need to see your writing skills. It's a very important keyword. They only need to see your writing skills, and in order to see your writing skills, what can they judge? They can judge you on the basis of your grammar. They can judge you on the basis of your writing skills or your punctuations. They are going to judge on the basis of your framing of sentences, whether you have written a complex sentence or a compound sentence or a simple sentence or an assertive sentence. whether you have used your punctuations right, your commas, your full stops, your capital letters, your small letters, the use of semicolons, the use of colons, everything will be judged. They will be using grammar to judge you, that is your grammar correct, whether you have used the correct tenses, whether you have used the correct adverbs or adjectives, whether you have used them in actually the manner in which they are needed to be used. Everything will be used to judge in a particular essay or in the English descriptive portion. So this is the main thing that you need to keep in your mind. So while writing an essay, let's talk about essays first. So while writing an essay, you need to understand that you are not a fact machine. You don't need to put too many facts. Even if the essay comes under the topic of economic and social issues, you don't need to put so many facts in your essays so that it becomes the answer writing kind of thing. You don't you this essay is not, this is a very basic misconception that essay is similar to the answer writing. No, definitely not. Essay requires the framework of introduction, body, and conclusion, but you need to write an essay in the paragraphs. You need to explain everything in the paragraphs. You don't need to mention the points in essay. No. I've seen so many students who ask me regarding that, how should I mention the important points in an essay. You don't need to. You need to only that is the writing skill, right? You need to practice so much that you need to write everything relevant in the form of a paragraph, because that is the basic format of an essay. But in case of an answer writing, you need to put important points. It is also consisted of having the introduction, the body, and conclusion. But in order to write a good answer, you need to have some good points highlighted, you need to have some good facts highlighted, you need to have some good conclusion in order to basically conclude what you have already written above. So all of those things are important in the answer writing, but not in the essay. In essay, you don't need to cite so many facts. You only need to put more emphasis on the writing skills, on your grammar, on your punctuation, on your sentence framing. So that is the main idea of essay writing. And this year the essay writing was of 600 words. Previously it was asked for 400 to 450 words. So it is not actually fixed that next year also the essay will be asked for 600 words. It could be asked for 400 to 450 words. We cannot be sure about it. So try to gather as much fodder material as you can for an essay, so that you will be able to extend the essay according to the word limit prescribed in the actual examination. That is my recommendation to you. Second thing, your précis writing. Précis writing. What is a précis? Précis is basically a summary. You will be given a passage, a comprehension passage, and you will be able to, you are actually asked to summarize that passage in 1/3 of its word limit. Let's say, suppose the passage is of 1000 words, so you need to write the précis of approximately 330 words. So that is basic idea of a précis, that is to summarize a particular passage into shorter words. It basically determines whether the candidate has understood the main idea or the central idea of a passage or not. And most important thing, précis always comes with a title. You have to write a title. Some people forget to write the title in the examination, and it might be causing a very good deduction of marks. So in order to write the title, you must be aware of what the central idea of the passage is, and that's how you will be able to write the title. And after that you can move on to the précis to reduce the word limit. Actually the word limit is basically given sometimes, so that is very good for you. Don't try to reach past the word limit in the English descriptive especially, and don't try to fall behind also. Try to cover it as much as possible, and that's how you will be able to fetch good amount of marks in the English descriptive portion. The next question is regarding the comprehension passage. Also, comprehension passage comes in this examination, which requires actually a whole lot of understanding power. Also here, the cat book, I already discussed about it in the previous video. The book regarding the comprehension passages, or the English verbal ability for the cat, by Arun Sharma. This book will be really helpful because there are some very difficult passages given in this book, and you will be able to comprehend or understand those passages by following those solutions to those passages, and following how should one approach while reading a particular comprehension passage. So in descriptive portion, the comprehension passage will having 3 to 4 questions, and you are required to actually answer those questions in your own language by typing. Okay, sometimes the word limit is also not given there while answering the questions, but you need to understand that the answers must not be extremely long, since the word limit is not given, because it might be leading to the deduction in the marks. You need to keep your answers short, not extremely short, just 2 3 lines, and try to summarize or condense all of those thoughts into those 2 3 lines while answering the particular question. That is it. So this is the whole preparation strategy for the phase 2 examination. I think I've covered everything very important from the examination point of view, and if you think that I've missed any point, you let me know in the comment section, and I will be happy to answer all of your queries and all of your doubts. And I hope that my videos are basically helping you guys to gather yourself and start preparing for the next year's examination. Thank you so much for watching this video. Share this video and channel to everyone who is preparing for RBI Grade B examination 2023, and don't lose hope. So many examinations are coming in the future. NABARD is also expected. I'm also targeting the NABARD examination, and as soon as I figure out the good sources and strategy for the preparation of NABARD examination, I will definitely share it over this particular channel via the video. So thank you so much for watching this video. Have a great day.